There are almost 150 working distilleries throughout Scotland, and each one is unique in its own right. But don't worry, because we've picked out the top 3 distillery experiences for you to consider during your visit, and there's something for everyone. It's all very well recommending that someone visits a far-flung distillery in the wilds of Scotland, and I'm going to do that as well in a minute. But for a new distillery that's easily accessible in Edinburgh, your first stop should be Port of Leith. There have been so many distilleries opening up across Scotland in the past few years. But Port of Leith came online in October last year, and it brought with it a whole new approach to distilling and distillery design. When they say they've built a distillery like no other, they're actually telling the truth. I remember meeting one of the founders, Ian Stirling, back in 2018 when he was working out of a wee shed in Leith and talking about his plans to build a vertical distillery. It took a little longer than planned, but it's definitely been worth the wait. Port of Leith is designed like a mini skyscraper with a tiny footprint but rising up over 9 levels. The site is also amazing. It's right on Leith's harbour next to the royal yacht Britannia, and the views from the top are everything you'd expect. It's an innovative place in every sense, from the vertical design to the way they're working with different yeast strains and fermentation times to develop their own new make. They've got a brilliant team at work, so for a city distillery tour, definitely check out the Port of Leith. So if the Port of Leith is an easy one to get to, my second pick is on my list precisely because it's a hell of a journey to get there. Isle of Raasay Distillery is on an island off an island. First you have to get up to the Isle of Skye. Okay, there's a bridge you can use to get there, so technically maybe it's not even really an island anymore, but from there you have to take another short ferry crossing to get across the water to Raasay. I love this wee distillery, and with the incredible surrounding landscape, it's definitely one of the most picturesque distilleries in the whole of Scotland. And the island of Raasay itself is well worth exploring, from the incredible self-built Callum's Road by the crofter Callum MacLeod to the cleared village of Hallaig and the volcanic plug of Duncan. The whisky's coming along very nicely as well, and there's a lovely hotel as part of the distillery with the beautiful renovation of the historic Borrowdale House. It's a long way to go to Raasay, but I can guarantee it will be worth your journey to this incredibly special place. Before I move on to my final pick, I'm sure there'll be a few of you at home screaming through the screen about the great distilleries that haven't made my list. And there are, of course, a fair few. So let us know down below in the comments what your number 1 recommendation would be for anyone visiting Scotland and the reason why. Okay, this final pick might be a bit more controversial, but I can't talk about remarkable distilleries without talking about the Macallan. Some whisky snobs got a wee bit sniffy about the new distillery when it opened in 2019. I think maybe just because it was so different from anything else in the industry. Personally, I loved my visit precisely because it's so different. It's an architectural wonder for a start, designed by Roger Stirk Harbour and Partners with an amazing undulating roof covered in grass. Macallan have put their visitor experience front and centre, and the scale of the place is really impressive. There are 36 stills in operation and a production capacity of 15 million litres a year, but it still feels more like an art installation or a high-end museum than it does a distillery. Maybe that's one of the reasons it's not to everyone's taste, but as a statement of intent within the whisky industry, it's certainly bold, and it speaks of Macallan's place at the highest levels of the whisky world. I hope that helps. Until the next time, cheers.